Kosher is tailing Viscount Roteshu when a number of men blocked his way and charge at him, but Kosher quickly defeats them. He points his sword at them and asks who sent them. The man answered that a middle-aged man paid them to pursue Kosher. Kosher kills all the men, hiding their bodies in an alley. He calls a servant to confirm Roteshu's location, then catches Roteshu and drags him to a deserted road. Kosher questions Roteshu about his relationship with Rashta. Roteshu feared Kosher and reveals that Rashta is a runaway slave, a fact that Kosher had previously knew. Frightened that Kosher will kill him, Roteshu tries to appease Kosher by revealing that Rashta has a baby. Viscount Roteshu, fearing his son Ellen's involvement, doesn't reveal Rashta's lover's identity. Kosher's triumphant laughter suggests he's rewarded for hunting down Rashta's weakness. Kosher questions Roteshu about evidence of Rashta being a slave. Roteshu reveals he has a slave trade certificate describing Rashta's appearance. The number of valuable mages in the Eastern Empire has been decreasing. The cause is still unknown, but the Eastern Empire's national strength is threatened by the disappearance of valuable mages. To counter this, the empire needs to increase the size and budget of its army. A servant informs Sovieshu of Marquis Karl's arrival. Marquis Karl handed a letter to the emperor. Sovieshu reads the letter and was frozen because of shock. He then instructs him to save Viscount Roteshu and confine Kosher to his home. Alan encounters Rashta, who is hostile towards him, but he handed her a cloth containing a silver hairlock. Alan tries to give it to Rashta, but she slaps him and the cloth falls, revealing the hairlock. Alan apologizes, but feels disappointed, as he thought Rashta was arranging a mansion for their sake. Alan trailed off, and Rashta ordered the maid to escort him away. As she left the garden, she picked the drop cloth with lock of hair, which she found to be softer and similar to hers. She returned to her room. Marquis Farang informed the empress that Rashta had given birth to a baby before meeting Sovieshu. The father of the baby is unknown, but Viscount Roteshu is taking care of it. He also told the news about the empress's brother, Kosher, had violently assaulted Viscount Roteshu to collect information, and Sovieshu sent a guard to confine him. Sovieshu arrives at the palace early the next morning and visits Rashta, who is sleeping peacefully. He notices a lock of silver hair under her pillow, which he believes is Rashta's first baby. He feels sympathetic towards her and pretends not to know anything about Rashta's situation. Sovieshu returns to the Eastern Palace and calls for Marquis Karl, who is tense due to his knowledge of Rashta's secret and the emperor's anger towards the empress. Sovieshu is considering divorce, not to Rashta, but with the empress. Marquis Karl is devastated and believes it is his duty to prevent divorce between the emperor and empress. The emperor wants to divorce the empress, believing it is the best path to protect her from the fallout. Marquis Karl is shocked by Sovieshu's plans to raise Rashta to the position of empress. He believes that public opinion will compare her to the empress, leading to a shift in public opinion to reinstate her. Sovieshu plans to put the empress back on the throne in 2 years. Marquis Karl is stunned by Sovieshu's long game tactics. The Marquis questions Miss Rashta's willingness to step down as empress. The emperor suggests that if she doesn't want to, he can force her to do so by bringing up her conspiracy with Viscount Roteshu against Duchess Tuania. Marquis Karl was thinking if Sovieshu had planned this since the incident with Viscount Roteshu. Sovieshu discussed national affairs. He spoke with the chief mage, who mentioned a decline in mages for nearly 2 decades, which is concerning. The empress asks about the length of time the emperor intends to keep her brother under house arrest. Sovieshu believes she cannot control her brother and he will never change, and determined to protect his child by banishing her brother. The emperor discusses her brother's violent assault on Viscount Roteshu. The empress explained that it was Viscount Roteshu who attacked Kosher first. The emperor didn't believe Kosher's narrative, but urges her to leave. The empress is wondering if the emperor knew about Rashta's past. While walking, the empress sees Viscountess Verdi in tears, and called her, but she leaves and didn't say anything. Walking on her way, she heard that someone is asking about her family's disapproval of divorce and found out it was Rashta. The emperor visits Rashta and then announces that Rashta will become the empress for a year, a move that shocks Rashta. She is shocked and unsure of the burden of the position. Sovieshu then reveals that the empress's baby will officially become a prince or princess in 1 year, causing Rashta to feel overwhelmed and confused. Rashta fears that the empress family will not accept the divorce, but Sovieshu promises to take care of it, ensuring her safety. Sovieshu assures her that she can rise from slavery by studying hard and maintaining a healthy body. Rashta understands the situation. The Empress' vision become blur and her chest is aching. After hearing Sovieshu's promise to make Rashta Empress after their divorce, she can't imagine it. Despite their past disagreements over Rashta, they had a strong friendship. She remembers Grand Duke Kapman's words about the possibility of her and the Emperor's divorce. She managed to stand up and went to study a book on the Eastern Empire's history, discovering that commoner concubines were rarely married. The book's mention of commoner concubines as empresses is a rare occurrence, but possible. The Empress went to Wurwurl, a city of mages, to visit Evely and to think. She passed by a restaurant she once dined with Prince Heinley a year ago. She saw a familiar-looking figure at the table, but are surprised to find it was Prince Heinley. Prince Heinley is also surprised. The Empress asked to join him. She was thinking if the prince is as free as he has been, seeing him in that place. Heinley recounts sneaking out of the royal family to avoid courtiers, a feat that seems dangerous. Heinley explains that sometimes the most amazing and wonderful things happen when one takes risks. He brought that his problem was people are asking for a queen, but he is hesitant to marry because he wants a queen that is Empress Navier and added that his people will like her. The Empress is uneasy about a compliment from Heinley, who notices her unwellness. She refuses to discuss her problems with him, fearing it would cause distress. Heinley, however, is serious and expresses his desire for her to be his queen. She notices that Heinley is serious about what he said and answered what if she would accept his proposal. The Empress is surprised when Heinley speaks that he is serious about the proposal and swears on his life. The conversation turns into an oath, and the Empress remains silent. The Empress visits Evely and was devastated by the loss of her ability to be useful to Her Majesty. Despite her desire to be a mage for the Empress, the disappearance of magic seems to diminish her value as a person. The Empress tries to comfort Evely, but is emotionally exhausted. After finishing work at the academy, the Empress walks around with Heinley. She share a conversation about her meeting with Evely and how she believes her value comes from her magical abilities. The Empress shares that her value comes from being Empress, and if it disappears, she would feel hopeless and desolate. Heinley asked Navier what was happening, but the Empress didn't answer. Navier remembers the proposal of Heinley and accepted it. Heinley smiled brightly after hearing what the Empress said. She promised to make a good queen and never interfere if Heinley accepted another woman as his concubine. Heinley's expression shook in shock as he was introduced to the topic of concubines. The Empress was already prepared for this situation. Heinley was very happy, but asked the Empress the reason of accepting the political marriage, but Navier didn't answer him. Heinley insists that whatever the reason, he will never reconsider if she change her mind. The Empress tries to explain her situation, however, two people approach them and their conversation was cut, but she promised she will write him a letter.